Can you guide? I know you've a lot of videos on LinkedIn and you've put a lot of content there as well. But if someone is watching this, what can you guide as a fresher? How can they start LinkedIn and how can they start effectively utilizing it? So a lot of people who start with LinkedIn say, "Yeah, I've updated my credentials, my picture, and every basic details." ठीक है. Let's assume everything is sorted. They say, "Yeah, we post, we don't get any traction," and they've been doing it for years, if not years, but 4 months, 5 months, 12 months, sometimes 16 months, 12, 18 months as well. They say, what exactly do we need to do if we want to, if we are a subject matter expert, for example, or whatever we are doing, we want to reach out, we want people to know us. So वो क्या करें? What based on the wisdom that I can get from you, what is your guide to them?
Yeah, so first of all, what we need to understand is that कि सिर्फ आप बोलते रहेंगे तो कोई नहीं सुनेगा. वो जो आपकी शाउट आउट है, वो जो आप जो भी चीख रहे हैं, चिल्ला रहे हैं, उसको सबसे पहले तो ऑडिबल कन्वर्सेशन में कन्वर्ट करें, ऑडिबल मैसेज में कन्वर्ट करें रादर, and then audible message should be converted into a conversation. So the concept is very simple. A lot of people don't get it. If you are if you are only randomly putting posts about anything and everything, you are not targeting. If you're not targeting, you're just random. Sometime your bullet will hit, but most of the time it will not. So what do you actually want to do? Just before this call, I was mentoring someone in the US. Now this lady is in the recruitment business, and uh, she was made redundant, and few other colleagues were made redundant, and now she wants to get back into the job market, but she had some issues. And the issue was she had a LinkedIn profile, and 99% people would have a LinkedIn profile, 1 billion people on LinkedIn. But only only 1% people actually understand how to create content, how to target content. And unfortunately, with the emergence of ChatGPT, a lot of people are putting in literally everything. So you're not targeting. You really do not know what your direction should be. You only know that you want to achieve a goal, and that goal could be finding a job. So if you're using LinkedIn as a job portal, then it is not going to help you. Job search is a very small component of what LinkedIn can do for you. So the question, how do you optimize your profile? Optimization. We need to understand the word optimization. That's the key. And the simplest answer to me is that optimal use of your resources is optimization. The जो आपके पास resources हैं उसका बेहतरीन इस्तेमाल आप कैसे कर सकते हैं, that's optimization. So if you treat the whole LinkedIn as your resource or your pool of resources, how are you utilizing that resource will either give you an optimized result, or it will just give you some result, which will be random. And I'm a big fan of a statement by Tony Robbins, the famous Tony Robbins. He said,
Mm,
if you want to change the output, you have to change the input in the process. So if we don't know what should we input, we would never know how the process would be, and the output will be garbage or garbled,
mm,
right? And in most of the case, this is happening. People don't try to learn LinkedIn. They try to, because you see, we are a WhatsApp and a Facebook community. If
mm,
you have to troll, we go on Twitter. So there's a lack of focus on personal development. There's a lack of focus on personality development. There's a lack of focus on knowledge building, lack of focus on personal branding, and of course, lack of focus on how do we use LinkedIn. It's very simple. I mean, uh, I'm a Pakistani. I've lived in Pakistan. I've worked in 12 countries, mostly South Asian countries. I know there's this issue is pretty much, uh, everywhere. But in Pakistan, because of so many uncertainties in the country over the period of time, this is pretty much became a pandemic in the country. So a lot of people who get into the education stream, are they doing freelancing, or they don't really understand. And I give you an example also, because I'm a big fan of giving examples so that people could relate to what I'm saying. You know, I could throw out a lot of theory, but if there is no, it's not backed with the example, people would not understand.
बिल्कुल.
So one of my students who is enrolled in my online LinkedIn program, he wrote me a message. So I've got a community, and like I think I'm probably the only Pakistani who actually uses a community feature called Circle. Anyways, so within the community, people ask questions, and there are other people who answer. Of course, I answer as well. And the question was, he's a graphic designer, and he said, who shall I connect? Who is my potential client? Who are my potential clients or potential audience? And I that made me think, and I wrote back to him. I said, if you as a professional do not know who is your potential audience or where your client is, how have you actually started doing your freelancing? There are over a million of freelancers in Pakistan. Most of
Hmm.
them are actually not too successful. And the reason is you learn freelancing, but you do not learn how to sell, how to brand yourself, how to communicate, how to express yourself, how to do a Zoom call, for instance. You're missing on all the business elements of freelancing. Freelancing is also business, right?
Hmm.
I'm technically a freelancer. I know I signed a contract with myself, right?
Hmm.
But I need to understand how should I communicate with people. So that was the so I said, if you and then I said, okay, my next so I do a monthly Q&A session with my students. So next Q&A session, I will dedicate that Q&A session on how do I identify my target audience. So I've got engineers, doctors, then these freelancers as well. Everyone has different kind of target audience. So the word optimization is a very vast terminology. We really need to understand exactly what we want to achieve out of it. So a lot of time profiles are incomplete,
Hmm.
which means either banner is missing or irrelevant banner. And I jokingly say, anyone who's come to Canada, if they're in GTA, they would either have CN Tower or Niagara Falls picture
Hmm.
onto their banner. How relevant that is to your profession? No. LinkedIn is giving you a free real estate. It's a real estate, right?
Hmm.
A billboard, and you're sharing something which is not relevant, or it's too complicated. There's some certain pictures that people share. It's too complicated, doesn't make sense, and it's literally 10, 15 seconds time. Somebody lands on your profile and bouncing off. Picture, shared a picture which was literally from 50-meter distance. I said, what is the point in putting that picture in? So optimization in every piece, every
I
aspect.
I have seen pictures of from people they put their Walima
Yeah,
pictures
yeah,
in
exactly.
their
Yeah,
banner. In
yeah,
their
yeah,
banner.
yeah, yeah. Or training. Now, if you are training few people, that picture is not relevant to your audience,
Hmm.
because you may be looking at your doing something which is weird. So see, marketing and sales is all about psychology. Content writing is all about psychology as well. It's the audience that we need to look at. It's not us. Don't look inward looking आदमी जो है ना वो कभी भी successful नहीं होता इसके अंदर. You should look outward and do not be a copycat. Something that has worked for Umar may not work for me. So your uniqueness is very important. Now, uh, another aspect of optimization is your searchability. Literally, I've trained, did webinars, did master classes for thousands and thousands of people. Most of them have never looked at their analytics. So they do not really know how their LinkedIn is performing,
Hmm.
whether it's being searched or searchability कैसी उसकी है, keyword searchability कैसी है. They don't do it. So whatever is cooking in that pot, we don't know what the ingredients are, and that's the challenge. That's where so. An average fresher, I've been out of Pakistan for almost 5 years now. Even if you are studying in a local university, a government university, I mean, maybe you're spending like 50, 60,000 rupees uh, throughout, maybe like in 4 years time, whatever. मुझे idea नहीं है उसका. But what I know that lumps is about 33, 4 million rupees, and similarly like other private universities are very expensive. You're doing everything, but you're not investing into your LinkedIn. So you're not learning the tool that will actually help you find that job opportunity because you don't want to invest another $100, $150. So optimization is a process of optimally utilizing all those resources. Freshers also need to really understand कि उनकी searchability कैसी है, keyword कैसे हैं, and then the next phase of the optimization is your content.
Hmm.
So LinkedIn's algorithm builds relevance or works around relevance. So if you're not relevant and you're not targeting, you're off basically. So you're an engineer and you're writing posts about social media marketing, or you're writing some political post or something else, which is not relevant. You are not going to target anything. So you have to be very targeted, very clear thoughts, roadmap. It's a science. Learn it. I mean, I can go on for hours
Definitely.
on the topic, but again, uh,
नहीं, I completely understand जो आपका passion है, the way you were explaining, and I have been following your content. And if anyone who is watching this, um, Ahmad Saab gives a masterclass. He has sessions, he has cohorts. Do feel free to go to his profile and connect, because he's right. मैं उस दिन यही पोस्ट मैंने एक लगाया था. I suddenly realized, people spend a lot of money, go to doctors to get themselves checked, to get themselves fixed. They're willing to spend whatever. Up to Pakistan mein, for example, for 10 minutes you pay 4,000 rupees or for 4,500 to a consultant just for a checkup. And I was just thinking, people, when a coach says ke, okay, you take 30 minutes and give me 5,000 or 4,000 or 10,000, whatever, people are like, yeah, that's a waste of money. And I was
yeah,
thinking the main problem is that people are not guided properly. That one guidance from an expert, that wisdom is something that you're lacking. And sometimes you're like, there's so many moments in life that this has happened. Yeah, why didn't anyone tell me before? ये मुझे
yeah,
पहले क्यों नहीं ख्याल आया? And not everyone feels comfortable giving you feedback. कोई भी area of development आपको नहीं बताता. जो आपका कोच होता है, आपको कोई गाइड करने वाला होता है. सो यस, वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. एंड लिंक्डइन तो ऐसी चीज, मैंने 2014 में एक्टिवली स्टार्ट किया था लिंक्डइन. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, लास्ट वीक आई वाज रेटेड एज द मोस्ट, मतलब हाईली, most inspirational, most influential HR professional. And someone asked me कि आप मुझे बता दें कि कौन से पोस्ट लगाने हैं कि फॉलोइंग बढ़ जाए. तो मैंने कहा, यार वो ऑनेस्टली बताऊं, आई नेवर थॉट अबाउट इट. आई जस्ट पोस्टेड व्हाट आई वाज गुड एट. मुझे विद years एक थोड़ा सा आइडिया हुआ व्हाट पीपल लाइक, व्हाट पीपल डोंट लाइक. एंड आई ऑलवेज वांटेड टू ऐड वैल्यू. Obviously I understood analytics, algorithms, but I always wanted to add value. It was never about getting a following. So I think वहीं आपकी बात के लोगों को थोड़ा सा समझ, वो एक मास्टर क्लास या वो लेके आपसे कनेक्ट करके, hopefully they will have a better idea.